Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Valkyria Chronicles. In the last episode, we went through Chapter 2, Escape from Brule, where we learned that there was a bit of a racial issue in this universe with the Darksons. And then we gained control of our father's old tank from the last war, which is mysteriously still more powerful than the current models, but hey, it works. And then we fought a battle to try to defend the Brule main gate as the citizens were evacuating, where we used the tank for the first time to knock out a Imperial tank, and then we evacuated the city ourselves. So we are now on to Chapter 3, Vassal Urban Warfare. So let's go ahead and get in and see what is next in store for us.
In March of 1935, the Empire began its invasion across Gallia's eastern border. Maximilian, commander of the Gallian invasion front, built his army around mobile armor. Ghirlandaio and the other fortresses along the border fell to his tanks in quick succession. Brule's fall in under 2 hours was typical of villages in the Empire's path, and the road to the capital bore a steady flow of refugees. Randgries, Gallia's capital, a town secure and stable since ancient times. Within its walls stood the castle Randgries, and within its unicorn spire resided Cordelia, Gallia's princess. Supporting Gallia's policy of neutrality was a system of universal conscription. Under it, all schools required military training each year. In the event of a war, citizens were then drafted into the militia to defend their country. As the conflict with the East grew worse, both Welkin and Alicia found themselves no exceptions to that fate.
So these are my new digs. Oh, my uniform. I should get changed before reporting in. Better get ready now. Flares, binoculars, a compass, and a map. Everything you need for a nice hike. Or combat.
Welkin? Can I come in?
Sure, it's open.
Oh, you're already changed too. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. You look good, actually. So, how about me? Do I look all right in this? Convincing?
Let's take a look. Yeah, you look fine. You wear it like a pro.
Really? You're not just saying that?
Of course not. You look tough. I like it.
Oh, good. I was worried it looked kind of silly.
No way. That plating on the back? It's like a coleopterate exoskeleton. Beetle-tastic.
Colio what? And did you just say beetle? Welkin? What kind of girl wants to hear that she looks like a bug?
Huh? Not just any bug. A rhinoceros beetle. King of the insects. Who wouldn't want that?
Uh-huh. I guess I'll just try to take that as a very Welkin sort of compliment.
Tell me about that scarf. You've been wearing it since I met you.
Oh, this? It's part of my uniform from the bakery.
Is that right?
I don't want to forget the time I spent busting my buns baking. I plan to keep wearing it until I can get back to manning the ovens again.
That's great. Once you do, I'll be first in line to get some of that bread.
Is that a promise? Well, I'll be sure to have plenty of it ready and waiting for you.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're ready, we should probably go see the captain now.
All right. So basically everybody has military training, which I guess makes sense if you're a tiny little neutral nation flanked by two giant superpowers that tend to get into fights every now and then. Alright, so moving on. Meet the commander that we're assigned to.
Come in. Excuse me, ma'am. Gallian Militia enlistee Welkin Gunther, reporting for duty.
Ma'am, Gallian Militia enlistee Alicia Melchiot, also reporting for duty.
I'm Captain Eleanor Varrot, commander of this regiment. Gunther, you're promoted to lieutenant. You'll be leader of Squad 7 now.
Ma'am.
Enlistee Melchiot, you're promoted to sergeant. You'll be under the lieutenant's command. Understood?
Ma'am.
What do you know? It is you. Nice coincidence, huh, Welkin?
Valdio? I had no idea that you'd enlisted.
Yep. Now that there's a real war going on, I joined up. Pretty much all the officer and training boys are here just like you.
You know each other.
Yes, ma'am. We knew each other at university. Welcome was in science and I was in archaeology. And just look at us now. No archaeology or science. Looks like the two of us are studying war, I guess.
Looks that way. It's good to see you.
And you.
That'll be all for now. There's a strategy briefing later today, but you still have time. Time for you to catch up. You'll be spending a lot of time on the post and in Randgreaves. They'll be your new home, so get to know them. That'll be all. Report back in time for the briefing. Until then, you're dismissed.
Alright, so we are at HQ, and this opens up a whole new set of things that we can do. We can go back to book mode, or we have things that we can do in HQ. So, let's just go ahead and go through here. We have the squad barracks. Alright, so this is basically where we can take the members of our squad and change their equipment, outfit them with new gear that we get. And as you can see, we have some other characters who are in our squad. We have not met them yet, but we will get around to that. So exit the barracks. Let's see. We'll get to the command room in a minute. Let's go to the training field.
Welcome to your worst nightmare. I'm the guy who's gonna whip you lazy blobs into shape. Still, I can't work miracles here. No amount of drilling beats real combat experience. I want you all to go out there, kick some imp tail, and then show me what you learned. I will train that experience into something you can actually use. Level you bums up. But don't go trying to hog all the glory. A squad's a team, and we got no need for stars. You will train as a class and level up by class. Scout level 2, Scout level 3. You get it? When the scouts level up, that means each and every one of them goes up that level. You hear me, maggots? Any of you think he's better than the rest of the team, go home now! All right. Now I'll show you lowlives how this whole thing actually works. It ain't complicated. First, you go out there and fight. Then divvy up that experience here. Once the experience you cram into a soldier class clears a set amount, it'll level up. Picking which class to level up and when is your job as the squad leader. Now give it a go.
Alright, so yeah.
Train all you want. I've got all day.
Alright, so yeah, this is where we spend our experience points. And yes, the entire class levels up as a group, so you don't need to worry about making sure that each character gets their experience, because the experience is a shared pool and divvied up amongst everybody here. Alright, so we have a pile of EXP, so let's go ahead and push pretty much all the classes to max, which we have scouts, shock troopers, lancers, engineers, and snipers. We'll be getting into all of those a little bit later. Let's go ahead and just assign.
You're better than this. Push those limits.
All right, yeah, whatever.
Good work, maggots. You're one level closer to human. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the lancers. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the snipers.
All right, now he's mentioning potentials, which is something else that we will get to here. All right, we don't have enough to level up everybody. What I'm probably going to say is let's get the shock troopers, and then the scouts. We'll just dump the rest in the scouts.
Bite the bullet! No pain, no gain!
Right.
Good work, maggots! You're one level closer to... Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the shock troopers!
Alright, so our shock troopers a little bit stronger than everybody else. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back.
Got it? That's how training by class works. Now get out there and rack up some experience. Oh, and there's one more thing to add. Sometimes leveling up a unit class will unlock a hidden potential in them. You can think of potentials as the natural abilities your soldiers have inside them. Those abilities will form a big part of your strength in the field, so keep them in mind. Other times, leveling up a class will earn you clearance for a new order. Here, as long as we're talking about it, I'll teach you a classic, a real golden oldie.
Alright, so we got a new order. Orders are things that we can... Basically, they are buffs, for lack of a better term, that you can hand out to your squad for the cost of command points. So we got Evade Boost, which will raise one ally's evasion skills.
Orders are special commands you can give out as the squad leader. They can save your tail.
Basically what I just said.
It doesn't take a genius to see that leveling up your soldiers is the best way to beef up your squad. The soldiers will get stronger, and you just might unlock new potentials and orders. All that just from me working you sorry bums into the dirt. I just hope you maggots are ready for a real workout the next time I see you here.
Alright, so enough of that. I might be doing a lot of that distributing of EXP off-screen. Not really sure. Alright, next is the R&D facility. We'll go into there.
Welcome to R&D, man. What can I do you for? Wait, I know that insignia. You're Lieutenant Gunther, aren't you? I knew it! Man, I've heard about you. That evacuation at Brule was just... wow! Protecting a tiny life in the middle of all that slaughter? Man! Oh, Lieutenant, you're good people. You get all my respect and then some, bro.
What's going on, Leon? I could hear you from clear across the hangar.
Oh, Casey, check it out! It's Lieutenant Gunther! He's the man!
Sorry about him, Lieutenant. He's like this all the time, I'm afraid. But where are my manners? I'm Kreese Cherney. I'm training here as a mechanic.
Oh, and I'm Leon Schmidt, but just call me Leon, bro. I'm your boy.
So, Lieutenant Gunther, what brings you down to R&D today? We do work here on weapons development, making upgraded weapons and equipment.
And that includes rifles and machine guns. We can even soup up your tank. Of course, research expenses aren't cheap.
With rifles and other firearms, we'll mass-produce new models as they're developed. You won't have to worry about making enough for your squad. We'll outfit them.
For tanks, you can upgrade the baseline performance of the body itself, or develop optional parts that you can add on to tweak out its specs.
Right. You can choose which optional parts you want in the tank equipment section. Come in any time and make adjustments based on the needs of the operation at hand.
Alright, so outfitting tanks. Development work on tanks happens in the form of body enhancements, traded weak point improvements, attack support. Body enhancements mostly reinforce the gun barrel and body armor to improve its base stats. Tanks will automatically be given the best body type you have developed. And you decide whether to favor attack or defense. And altering body types gives your tank a different outward appearance. Alright, so improvements to treads, a weak point, and attack support take the form of parts that can be added to the tanks to enhance their abilities. Each part is set size in blocks, and you decide how to fill the 4x3 block storage capacity in the Edelweiss. So pick the optional parts that best fit your own personal combat style. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and develop weapons, because we have some ducats to spend. And let's go into rifles. So we have the rifles, which are used by scouts and engineers. And then we can, like, increase what we can do, the accuracy boost.
All set for you, bro. It's done.
That guy's way too excited. Okay, and then, I mean, we can't develop any further. But eventually, it'll branch out into different specializations for the guns, and then we'll have to decide which specialization branch we want to go down. We can research them all if we are able to get enough money, but at least if you're just going through the main storyline and not like working on a lot of skirmish missions and things like that, then you might only be able to go down one of the branches. You'll just have to choose which, and we'll see that when we get there. Alright, then we have machine guns. Again, we'll just go ahead and upgrade these.
Here you go, bro. All done.
And again, also, these will have specializations as we proceed. And then we have our anti-tank lances. Again, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. I'm just going to skip past him. And this has a couple of different specializations. I can't remember exactly which. I think one is firepower and one is accuracy. We'll have to see. And then we have sniper rifles, accuracy boost. Always a good thing for sniper rifles. And then they're going to also have different branches and specializations we'll need to worry about. Hand grenades, no upgrades available yet, and there's no specializations for those. And we have uniforms. We'll go ahead and upgrade our uniform. Better combat suits. And again, that's just a straight line. And then we have blast suits, which are worn by the Lancers. Go ahead and upgrade that. And again, no specializations there. Alright, so let's head down to Edelweiss. Let's see what we got here. Body enhancements. We can reinforce the barrel. Get a barrel protector. That's pretty expensive.
It's done. This one's perfect, bro.
Alright, so it provides additional armor on the turret. And increases the range of our gun by a bit. We can reinforce the armor, increases our defense.
It's done. This one's perfect.
Alright, we're down to 760 ducats, and we don't have enough to buy any of these additional upgrades. But we will be back once we have some more money. Alright. That's enough for R&D.
Well, sir, was that helpful? We're working here around the clock to make possible tomorrow what's out of reach today. Come again a little later. We'll do our best to have something useful for you by then.
Yeah, you better come back soon, bro. I am all fired up to work on stuff for you.
Alright. And now we're going to head to the command room.
It's good to see you doing the rounds. Welcome. This is the command room. Use it to structure your squad. You will have access to both drafted and volunteer recruits. Now that I think of it, Squad 7 is still short on soldiers, isn't it? I'll explain how this works. This is the master list. The recruits have all been assigned classes based on their talents. I should probably touch on the 5 classes, just so we're clear. First off, you have the scouts. Just like the name suggests, they'll be your eyes. Their best asset is their mobility. They can go out, collect intel, then make it back safely. That, and a keen eye for enemies. A good scout can spot a man in tall grass from 100 yards. That comes at the price of firepower. Their job is spotting enemies, not taking them out. Next up, the shock trooper. They're the ones to break through enemy lines and clean up. They offer excellent offense and defense. As far as combat goes, they're as good as it gets. While they lack any specialized techniques, they also don't have any obvious shortcomings. Think of them as the least finicky unit in your squad, Lieutenant. After them, we have Lancers, then anti-tank units. They're critical when facing armored targets.
That's a bit of an issue in that line.
Their purpose is pretty self-explanatory. In most cases, they're the only way to stop a tank. They're also well shielded from explosives, which conveniently includes tank mortars. Sadly, they're slow and weak to gunfire. Their limited ammo could also be called a drawback. Changing gears, we have the Engineers. They handle supplies and perform combat support. They can restock other units' ammunitions, treat the wounded, even repair tanks on site. They can place sandbags for cover, disarm mines, repair towers, you name it. Their actual combat skills are very low. Think of them as combat facilitators. Lastly, we have the Snipers. They can shoot down targets from a considerable distance. You won't find better soldiers for marksmanship and range. They can hit targets I can barely see. Sniping rifles also come with scopes that work to augment a sniper's natural eyesight. Drawbacks include low mobility and defense. If the enemy gets them alone, they're done for. That should cover the basics. Go ahead and put a squad together now. There's room for 20, and you can swap units at any time.
Alright, so this is where we get to select from the recruits who ends up in our squad. And we have a whole bunch of people to choose from. And here we can see they have different they'll have different stats, and they also have different potentials, which are basically kind of, well, certain aspects of these characters that will have different effects in battle. Meadowbred, so standing in a grassy field helps them relax, enhancing their defense. This guy's claustrophobic. He does not like to be in trenches, so he'll drop an attack power. And he fancies women, so he likes having women around, and it'll make him shoot with greater accuracy. So, we have a lot of this. So you can do a lot of min-maxing here to try to make sure you have like a really nice built squad. And I'm gonna have to decide who we're gonna get, but there's a few that we're gonna grab regardless. We're grabbing Ika Thompson. She is one of the best scouts in the game. She's also a character from another game.
Hey there, I'm Ika Thompson. I'll try my best. Sound good, Welkin?
Alright, and there's going to be another person we're going to bring in who is also from a different game who was included in this. There he is. I didn't think he was available right away, but Vice. He's also probably one of the best shock troopers in the game, so he comes in.
The name's Vice Engelbard. Let's go kick this war in the teeth.
Alright. We are going to need a engineer. At least one for now. And let's see. And because our tank is being driven by Isara, and she is a Darksen, I'm going to bring in Nadine because she has Darksen Bond, which, having brethren close by to protect, stirs enhanced defensive abilities. Since she's going to be following the tank around most of the time, that hopefully that will activate a lot. So,
Hello, sir. My name is Nadine. I'm sure I'll be coming to you for help.
because that does actually count. The game does register that your tank has, your driver is a Darksen. So, alright, we're going to need a sniper. And we're going to have to pick Marina or Catherine. Let's see. Heavy pollen energies mean a steady drain of HP when standing near too much plant life. Night vision. Keen sight is unimpeded by darkness at night. Lone Wolf. Having allies nearby is a distraction. It causes a drop in evasion ability. That's not always the best thing. But again, the snipers do tend to operate alone a lot of times. Meadow Bread. Standing in grassy field helps relax. Camaraderie. Having allies of the same unit class nearby puts them at ease. And Pessimist, having less than half full HP, makes them throw away hope for the future, meaning lessened defense. So he's Kobe and Juno, and they also have different likes, so what other characters they actually like, and therefore will have better stats when they are near those characters. I'm thinking for now, we're actually going to bring in Marina.
Marina Wolfsten, at your command.
But we can bring in 20, so I'm actually going to grab both the snipers.
Hello, I'm Catherine O'Hara. I look forward to joining you all.
Alright. Let's see, we have 12 more open slots. We're going to need at least another Lancer. Jan, Nils, Darden, the Old Boar, Walter Nash, Hector, Calvé, Yoko. Alright. He likes Vice. So it might be good to bring him in. He has a metal allergy. He's a born leader. Proximity to metals cause acute rejection reaction, leads to steady drain of HP. So it's not a good idea to keep him near the tank. So that's a bit of an issue. Born leader, having allies nearby sparks a sense of responsibility. Yeah, we'll bring in Hector.
My name's Hector Calvé, sir. I'm at your service from today on.
Alright. So now we're going to need a steady dose of scouts and shock troopers. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and look through here. We're going to grab a bunch, and then I'm just going to go over who we got. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I went ahead and picked everybody. Alright, I grabbed a lot of scouts, but we will get access to more recruits as the game progresses, so we'll be shifting up the lineup here. So we have Alicia, we have Melville, we're going to have Wavy here, we have Noche, I think his name is, Nancy, Juno, and Aika. And for our shock troopers, we're going to have Rosie, Alex, Salinas, Vice, Aisha, and Nina. We have Largo, Nils, and Hector for our Lancers, Dallas, and Nadine for Engineers, and Marina and Catherine for our Snipers. Alright, so that's good to go for now.
Well, feel like you've struck a balance? Come back anytime you'd like to adjust your squad. As time passes, we'll have more recruits to choose from, so keep an eye on that list. Oh, and all the recruits go through training together, so they're all ready for combat. They'll be at the same level as the rest of the team you've taken into the field. You can swap out members without the worry of losing the benefit of their experience. Trust in your own judgment and pick a team you know you can work well with. That should be enough to get you started. You can figure out the rest as you go.
Wow. Squad leader's a lot of responsibility. Come to think of it, Faldio's heading up Squad 1, isn't he? I wonder if he's off sorting through this stuff now, too. I'd better get a move on.
Alright, so that is headquarters, and that's going to be probably the most time we're going to be spending here. Alright, return the book mode. Now we have the headquarters tab, right, which we can come back to headquarters anytime we want. And stand by before combat or after and up. Once you've acquired more resources, is a good idea. Yep. And I know how to do all this. Alright, so we actually did not get through much of the chapter up to this point because we had to go through all that stuff in headquarters. So, and you know, we're about out of time. So what we'll probably do is just cut it here, and then we will proceed through the rest of the chapter when we come back. I know I was trying to do a chapter an episode, but it's just kind of the nature of this particular point in the game where you get a whole bunch of stuff available to you and you kind of have to proceed through all of that, and it takes a bit of time. Alright, so we'll go ahead, we'll cut it here, and when we come back, we're going to finish the rest of Chapter 3, and then proceed on from there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.